All right, it's time to go over our top 10 quarterbacks for week one. Guys, we're going right here at number 10. We're talking about Joe Burrow taking on that New England Patriots defense that I think he can expose and definitely get a plethora of fantasy points for you. He has a healthy amount of wide receivers, whether it's with Jamar Chase or T. Higgins or Jermaine Burton, and he himself is even healthy enough to go out there and provide you with a solid fantasy football in week one. Guys, Joe Burrow can go out there, right, and deliver the football without Joe Mixon having to be on the football field. Yes, they got Zach Moss in there, and they also got Chase Brown in the backfield, but I think in the most part, if the Bengals are going to want to win football games, they've got to win on the shoulder of Joe Burrow, and he is talented enough to do that. A lot of people are kind of written off Joe Burrow starting last season, saying maybe he just doesn't have it anymore. He's just really not there. I think Joe Burrow wants to prove all the doubters wrong. Go out there, sling the football all over the football field, and provide so many fantasy points for you. I'm loving Joe Burrow in week one. He had to make it into my top 10. Coming here at number 9, I'm talking about Kyler Murray taking on that Buffalo Bills defense. This is going to be almost a shootout, right? We have a rookie Marvin Harrison. We still got Trey McBride there at the tight end position. Kyler Murray was injured most of last season, so he wants to come out there and prove that he is still the quarterback of the future for the Arizona Cardinals, and he wants to build a rapport really, really early with Marvin Harrison Jr. We saw a lot of in and out cuts and a lot of breakaway speed that Marvin Harrison does possess, can get open very, very easily. I think Kyler Murray is going to have an easy time getting him the football. Look for a lot of fantasy points from Kyler Murray in week one, and with a high floor with his rushing ability as well. So going on, you know, the Buffalo Bills are going to come to play. So they're going to have to throw the football if they want to stay in this football game. Look for Kyler Murray to have a dazzling display there in week one for you. He comes in here at number 9 for me. Next, we got on the list, we got a rookie. It's going to be Jaden Daniels taking along that Buccaneers defense. I think Jaden Daniels can come in here and just light the world on fire. He's got all the tools of the trade you need to have a solid fantasy quarterback, whether he's running the football or throwing the football. He's got a good combination of both. So you're always going to have that high floor when you have Jaden Daniels. Easily here at number 8 for me. I think they go in there and they get a win in week one against this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. I can't wait to see this game and see what Jaden Daniels can do. Being an LSU fan myself, I saw a lot of Jaden Daniels in college, and I'm telling you, he's gonna shock a lot of people here in week one, and he's gonna kind of plant his flag down, saying, "Look, I belong here in the NFL, and I belong here as a top fantasy football quarterback." He's gonna have a great display, especially targeting Terry McLaurin. I think for the most part, no more Jahan Dotson there. I mean, I think it's the Terry McLaurin show. It is him and only him in this offense. He's going to get so many targets. Jaden Daniels should have an easy time for fantasy football for you. Easily coming here at number 8 for me. Dropping over here, number 7. We're talking about Jordan Love taking along that Philadelphia Eagles defense. Now, this is a pretty difficult defense to go against, right? So they're good against the run, they're good against the pass. They have a lot of things going for them, but Jordan Love has so many weapons at his disposal, whether they be all on the offense, whether you have Jaden Reed, who I think is the number 1 wide receiver for the Packers, or Christian Watson, Romeo Dubes, even a double trouble at the tight end position with Luke Musgrave and Tucker Kraft. There is a lot of options here for Jordan Love to get it done, and he can even wheel and deal a little bit with his legs just to get you some extra fantasy points. I think this is going to be a close matchup, something that's going to be a back and forth. We know the Eagles are going to score, so the Jordan Love is going to be and take the whole team on his shoulder and go out there and sling the football all over the field to keep the Packers in this game. I think it's going to be a good matchup. Easily as a top 10 quarterback for me for fantasy football for week one, we have Jordan Love here at number 7. Number 6, we got to go with one of the GOATs here, Patrick Mahomes, taking on that Baltimore Ravens defense. This is a tough defense. Year in and year out, we see what we get from Baltimore, and it is just a tough defense to play at. It doesn't matter if you're at Baltimore or at home against Baltimore. They've got a stud type of defense. But against Patrick Mahomes, he's very, very smart, right? He can get the football all over the field. Hollywood Browns should not be in this week, so he's going to have himself some Rashee Rice. He's going to have some Xavier Worthy, and definitely have himself some Travis Kelce. I'm excited to see what he can do. He's going to prove that he belongs, right, in the conversation again this season as the number 1 quarterback for fantasy football. I think this is a week that can kind of propel him to do so. It's going to be a tough matchup, maybe not a ton of points in this matchup. That's probably why I have him down here at number 6. But Patrick Mahomes, if you have him, you're not benching him. You're starting him easily here at number 6 for me. Bumping right up in my top 5 still. Same game that we're talking about, Lamar Jackson, right? Taking on that Chiefs defense again, a good defense to play against, right? But just wait to see, right? Lamar Jackson now has Derrick Henry at the running back position. How does that change this offense? Is Lamar Jackson going to run as much as he used to, or is it's just going to be the same old Lamar Jackson with the terrifying Derrick Henry behind him? I still think that there's going to be fantasy points galore for Lamar Jackson. Plenty of opportunities for him to score. They're going to have to outscore the Chiefs, right? It's going to be a back and forth type of matchup. Will it be more of a defensive matchup? Will it be more of an offensive matchup? I can't wait to see this. This is going to be an outstanding game to watch. But Lamar Jackson easily coming here at number 5 for me. Coming here at number 4, we're talking about CJ Stroud, right? Going over there against the Colts. Now, I think CJ Stroud, Anthony Richardson, 2 quarterbacks in this game, they want to show that they belong here in the NFL. 2 young studs going back and forth, tit for tat. But Stroud's got a lot of weapons out there, right? I like this guy, the way he plays football. Got Nico Collins, now Stephon Diggs, still got Tank Dell, newly signed Dalton Schultz, and they got Joe Mixon in the backfield. A lot of options for him to score fantasy points, to be able to put up plenty of numbers for you. If you have CJ Stroud this week, in week 1, you are super happy that you have him and you're able to start him against this Colts defense that is very vulnerable, right? I think he's going to be able to get in there and have his way against the pass, right, with CJ Stroud. If you have him, set it and forget it. Easily number 4 for me. Come here, number 3, we're talking about Jalen Hurts taking on that Packers defense. We kind of talked about Jordan Love a little bit earlier. Jalen Hurts, what is going to happen? What is going to be the motto? What is going to be, what are we going to be talking about here in week 1? Is there going to be some tush push happening? Is the tush push kind of going away with Saquon Barkley being in the backfield? How does Jason Kelsey's retirement, play any type of role on Jalen Hurts' fantasy production? We'll have to wait and see. They end up getting Jahan Dotson now as a number 3 wide receiver for this offense. So there's a lot of weapons out there. A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, and now Jahan Dotson. And don't forget about Dallas Goedert at the tight end position. So he's going to be able to have a plethora of time of just throwing the football. But if they get a lead early, look for Saquon Barkley to be the main benefactor in this type of grinded out type of matchup that you want to see. And maybe Jalen Hurts doesn't have a phenomenal week. That's why I had to drop him here at number 3 instead of maybe number 1 or number 2. Jalen Hurts still a good fantasy quarterback for week 1. Just be cautious that we don't know what this offense is going to look like. So either way it goes, it's a set it and forget it. You're not benching Jalen Hurts. Put him in there. He's going to be your number 1 quarterback if he's on your roster. So coming here at number 2, we're talking about Anthony Richardson taking on that Houston Texans defense. We talked about it just a little bit earlier with CJ Stroud. Anthony Richardson, what is he going to be? It's going to be the tale of 2 tapes. He's going to be he's going to be an absolute superstar for your fantasy team, or B, he's going to be an absolute dud. If I had to pick, having him as my number 2 overall ranked for the entire season quarterback, right behind Lamar Jackson, I think he's going to be absolutely amazing. We just saw what he's able to do, 20 plus fantasy points in every game that he's been really a part of last season. Look for him to put up solid fantasy points. And if he keeps running the football like he said he was going to do, he's not going to alter the way that he runs the football. Look for him to score plenty of touchdowns on the ground, which is going to keep him definitely relevant. They're saying maybe he's not the best passer. He doesn't need to be the best passer. You get him about 220 to 240 yards passing with the rushing ability this guy has. He's going to be coming in as the number 1 quarterback all the time. It is what it is. Call a spade a spade. I love him this week against this Houston Texans defense that, yes, they do have a decent defense, but I think just AR, he's a different type of guy, right? He's going to get the football. He's going to score some touchdowns. I like myself some Anthony Richardson. Coming in at number 1, no surprise for a lot of people. We're talking about Josh Allen going against this Arizona Cardinals defense that, man, let's just face it. Josh Allen's going to go in there and absolutely shred this defense. I don't think they have any chance of stopping him. The storyline of this game is going to be what's going to happen. Who's going to be his true number 1 wide receiver? Is it going to be Curtis Samuel? Is it going to be Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir? We don't know who the true number 1 guy. Who is he going to look for to target the most? If I had to put my money on something, I would say it'd be Curtis Samuel, but who knows? Is he going to be running the football more? Is he going to be passing the football more? What is his team going to look like, right? Is all he's going to do is target Dalton Kincaid? We just don't know, but I'm excited to see this. He's easily my number 1 quarterback. There's such the high floor with the rushing ability and not knowing who his number 1 wide receiver is going to be. Man, this could be some fireworks in week 1 against the Arizona Cardinals that have absolutely no chance of stopping him, guys. But look, that's my top 10 rankings for the quarterbacks of week 1 of this 2024 season. Guys, we're putting out videos each and every week for all the rankings, for all the positions, so that way you can set the best lineup possible. I can't wait to see you guys on the next video. We'll see you guys next time.